Twin brothers named Raffle and Ryan found the school for good and the school for evil. They create these schools to keep the world balanced. Raffle becomes the dean of the school for evil. Ryan becomes the dean of the school for good. After a very long fight, the two brothers remain equal. They walk together and talk about the battle arena. The most important rule of the arena is no magic during the fight. Raffle tells Ryan that he knows magic is forbidden. He asks Ryan what he thinks about trying it just once without limits. Ryan has a trait that Raffle does not possess. Ryan uses his brain and controls his emotions. He tells Raffle that they cannot use magic. He says they have many things to do and no time for this talk. Raffle insists on his idea and pulls out his sword. He tells Ryan to play another round and use their magic. He says he feels very bored with regular fighting. Ryan tries to talk and calm him down again. Raffle attacks him and uses his magic. Strong fire comes out of his hand. Ryan tries to block the fire and tells Raffle to stop. Raffle reveals that he wants something else. He does not just want to use magic. He wants to get rid of his brother Ryan and control both schools. He hates having half for himself and half for his brother. Raffle shows his hatred and jealousy. He attacks Ryan with all his power and tries to eliminate him by any means. He finally stabs him into a rock with a spell called blood magic. Raffle searched for this specific spell for many years. He finally found it yesterday. He starts using the forbidden spell against his brother. Ryan tells him this magic is forbidden for an unknown reason. He warns him that the spell might control him and destroy the world. The hatred and jealousy fill Raffle completely. He sees nothing except getting rid of his brother and controlling the whole world. At the end of the fight, Ryan lies on the ground. If he moves even one step backward, he will fall off a huge mountain. Raffle attacks his brother with one final strike. Both of them fall off the mountain together. Ryan is the one who survives. Raffle lies at the bottom dead. Despite everything, Ryan feels very sad for his brother. Many years pass in a faraway land. A new story begins in a poor remote village. A girl named Sophie lives there and she is very beautiful. The village men freeze when they see her beauty. Everyone knows this girl will become someone great because of people loving her and her beautiful looks. Sophie dreams of becoming a princess from the stories she hears. She wakes up from her sleep and wishes her life would change for the better. She goes down to her family and they are very poor. The whole village is poor, which makes Sophie avoid dealing with the villagers. She knows them and does not like their situation at all. She wishes the whole village would change. A girl named Agatha lives in the same village. She is the only person Sophie deals with. Agatha lives with her mother and has magical powers. Every village resident hates her and her mother. They bully her everywhere she goes because the town residents are used to burning witches. They do this to keep evil away from their town. Sophie is the only one who agrees to be her friend because they face the same kind of bullying. One day Agatha walks to the market to buy things for her mother. A town resident confronts her and warns her to stay away from the whole town. He says he will kill her otherwise because they hate witches intensely. Agatha feels very scared and wants to run away fast, but she cannot. Sophie appears at that moment and hits the man on the head. She does this to protect her only friend. They quickly leave the place and go to the fantasy story library. Their relationship is very warm and friendly. They are used to searching for new fantasy stories to read together. Sophie finds a book about the school for good and the school for evil. The shop owner tells her this is a legend about the two schools, but the legend is real. A girl from the town disappeared more than 20 years ago. Rumors say the school for evil summoned her. Sophie secretly wishes the school for good would summon her. She wants to become a princess and escape her miserable life. She writes her wish on a small piece of paper. She puts it at a tree called the wishing tree. She writes a letter to the school for good asking to be one of them. She says she has always wanted to change the world. She is confident she will become something very great one day. She returns to Agatha and tells her she decided to run away from the village by the end of the day. Agatha tries to calm her down and tells her she is her only friend. She cannot abandon her. She gives Sophie a crown she made for her when they were young. Sophie becomes very happy, but deep inside she decides to run away no matter the cost. We learn that the woman she lives with is not her mother. The woman is her father's stepmother and she makes her life miserable. She hates her very much. We also learn that because of Sophie's mother's death, the strongest bond between them formed. Agatha met Sophie at the cemetery when she was visiting her mother's grave. Since that day they became best friends. At the end of the day, Sophie packs her things and goes to the forest to run away. Agatha comes and stops her because she was watching her. She tries to talk to her again, but they suddenly hear a loud sound. The sky turns red with light. A creature made of air and red eyes appears and takes Sophie. Agatha grabs her friend and tries to run, but she holds on and saves her. Sophie is about to ask what she is doing when a huge terrifying bird appears. The bird takes both of them and flies away. The school for good and the school for evil appear in front of them. Sophie cannot believe her eyes and flies with joy, unlike Agatha, who wants to return to her mother quickly. Sophie tells her not to worry. After the bird takes them to the school for good, it will surely return her to the village. The bird suddenly drops Agatha at the school for good. Sophie gets upset and keeps screaming at the bird. She says she is not evil and she must go to the school for good, not evil. The bird drops her at the school for evil and she falls into the water. Many other people fall into the water with her. They start entering the school, but a boy in the water tries to harass her. She runs away from him and goes to the school. She finds people with strange shapes and animals in human form. She feels very scared because of their strange treatment. She tries to make them understand she is in the wrong place, but no one cares. We see Agatha at the school for good, which is the complete opposite of Sophie. She does not fall into water at all. She falls onto land full of roses. The place is very beautiful. Princesses who Sophie dreamed of becoming welcome her. She tries to make them understand she is in the wrong place. She wants to go back to her village with her friend. The princesses do not understand her and find her disgusting. They think she is a witch, so they walk away. Small fairies carry her and walk away. We return to Sophie, who is very angry. She meets a man who comes to greet her with a severed hand. She leaves him and walks to the dean's office. She tries to explain what happened and that this is not her place. Her real place is the school for good. People look at her with astonishment because this is not how someone enters this school. The dean refuses to talk to her. She says she has no time because she has a lot of evil to do. We return to Agatha and the fairies take her to a place in the school. There she meets the dean, whose name is Dovey. Agatha tells her that her friend Sophie always dreamed of coming to this place. She always wanted to be a princess like the princesses here. She says Sophie is the right one for this place, not her. She wants to return to her village. Dovey tells her her friend is one of the evil ones while she is one of the good ones. This is not their choice but depends on the person's soul, or more simply their wavelength. She tells Agatha that she is supposed to be here, not her friend. Agatha replies that she agrees, but there is one problem. Her shape does not look like the princesses here. Dovey tells her not to worry about that part. When Agatha argues with her again and tries to walk away, Dovey gets angry at her. She tells her it is impossible for her to return to her village. She brings her many dresses to wear. We then see the evil and good students gathered in one place. By chance, Agatha sees Sophie. Before she can go to her, a guard from the evil school stops them. The deans of the school for evil and the school for good arrive and their students greet them. A show begins with some students performing. A boy named Tedros arrives. His father was once a king. He performs a special fighting show. It becomes clear he has many female admirers from the school. After he finishes, one of the evil teachers asks him what he thinks about fighting for real. A terrifying man with one eye arrives carrying a huge axe. The dean of the school for good is surprised by what is happening. The dean of the school for evil, whose name is Lesso, is very happy about this. The fight begins and Tedros lands the first strike. Lesso gives the fighter fire for her champion. He starts fighting again and this time he is much stronger. Tedros manages to defeat him with a clever move. The school for good wins the battle. Dovey tells Lesso that the school for good must always win. We learn the school for good has been defeating the school for evil for 200 years. Tedros throws a rose to the girl he likes from his school. As he throws the rose, his eyes land on Sophie and he falls in love with her. He throws the rose by accident and it lands on Agatha. Agatha tells him she does not want his rose and finds him very arrogant. A person arrives and welcomes them to both schools. This person maintains the balance between them. Suddenly Sophie stands up and says she came to the school by mistake. Agatha says she never wanted to come here in the first place and wants to leave. The man tells them there is no mistake in either school and everything is fine. At night the princesses bully Agatha harshly. They lock her room door so she goes out through the window. She walks on the portraits until she reaches the school for evil. A dwarf responsible for protecting the school and preventing students from escaping confronts her. He starts punishing her and chasing her until she enters the school through the meeting room. There she hears Lesso and Dovey talking. Dovey says she feels something is wrong with the two new girls. There really is a problem and they came here by mistake. Lesso does not listen to her at all and tells her everything is fine. They both leave and something strange happens. The place suddenly fills with blood. Raffle emerges from the blood. He tells Agatha to leave Sophie alone and stay away from her. She now belongs to his school and he sees a great future for her. Agatha continues into the school and hides when she hears the sound of the master of the whole place. She sees him climbing a staircase and he disappears as soon as he reaches the top. Sophie makes enemies with the evil girls who want to kill her. The strange thing is Sophie knows how to handle them and fights them professionally. They become certain she is evil because no one from the school for good would do this. Sophie tells them the only proof she is good is her appearance and theirs. Agatha calls out to her and they meet. Agatha tells her she will go to the master of the school and saw him going up. She tries to stand in the air and finds a staircase going up. They find the place locked and keep knocking and calling out. The door suddenly opens and they find a magical book that writes itself. The master appears, who is Raffle in disguise as his brother Ryan after he aged and his appearance changed. He tells them this magical book writes every fantasy story including theirs. He tells them no mistake happened and each of them is in the correct school. Agatha tells him she saw Raffle in the meeting room. The master warns her never to say Raffle's name again. He tells Sophie that to transfer to the school for good or return to her town she must kiss her true love. Each of them returns to her room. The next day each girl starts attending her classes. They face many difficulties because Agatha thinks about how to return to her village. Her mother cannot live without her and is surely searching for her. Sophie thinks only about transferring to her dream and going to the school for good. Agatha meets a boy named Gregor at the school. We learn he also hates this school very much and wants to return to his town. Although he is the son of one of the fantasy story princes, he hates the prince's life. One day in the forest they learn about the dangers they might face there. Gregor gets very scared and runs away quickly. He fails his prince lessons for the third time. Agatha runs after him to bring him back, but something strange happens. A tornado-like creature appears and disappears. This is the punishment for Gregor. Whoever fails his lessons 3 times gets punished. There is a lesson called the wishing lesson. Each student wishes for something from the wishing fish in the lake. When it is Agatha's turn, she wishes to return to her village. A small princess suddenly appears from the water. The princess tells her she turned into a fish when she failed her lessons 3 times. She thanks Agatha for saving her and disappears. A giant bird appears at that time and attacks the princesses. Agatha realizes this bird is Gregor after his punishment. Tedros arrives suddenly and saves Agatha from the bird. He kills the bird so Agatha hits him because he just killed Gregor. At the same time we see Sophie in a spell lesson. She gets into a fight with a student named Hester. Hester has magical power that can turn her tattoo into a real falcon. She uses the falcon to attack anyone she wants. She orders the falcon to attack Sophie. Sophie feels very scared and does not know her magical power that can save her from Hester and her falcon. She calls out for anyone to save her. Suddenly a huge swarm of bees appears and surrounds the falcon, almost killing it. Lesso comes and orders Sophie to stop the bees. Sophie manages to stop them. The bees form the shape of Raffle. He tells Sophie he will protect her. Lesso understands that Raffle appears to Sophie and is preparing her to be his true love. He did the same thing to another girl he kidnapped from her town more than 20 years ago. Lesso tells Sophie not to tell anyone that Raffle appears to her. She tells her to prepare herself for the next day. The next day Sophie tries to communicate with Tedros to kiss him. He is her true love and this will transfer her to the school for good. A guard from the school for evil sees her and prevents her from talking to Tedros. He takes her to the punishment room. Lesso tells her there that she must stay away from the school for good and prepare herself to be Raffle true love. She cuts her hair to change her appearance. On the day of the magical power activation ceremony for new students, Sophie prepares herself for the party. She feels very sad because she is still in the school for evil. Raffle appears to her again and tells her she must be evil to get what she wants. Sophie is convinced by his words and decides to change her entire look. She looks incredibly evil. She goes to the ceremony to activate her magical power. Everyone at the party is surprised by her new look, but she does not care about them at all. She activates her magical power and leaves the party. At that moment Sophie gathers a team from the school for evil to be her helpers. Her personality changes and all her actions become evil and very harmful. Agatha decides to help her because she is her only friend. She tells her that to win Tedros' heart she must prove she is a good person. Agatha plans to help her friend win Tedros' heart. They go the next day to Tedros' spear training place. Agatha tells Sophie that she wants to train with him. Tedros says the arrow hits the target by itself because the good have pure hearts unlike the evil. Sophie holds the spear and hits the target. Agatha helps her hit it to prove to Tedros that she is a good person. Tedros believes her and spends time with her. At the same time Agatha feels jealous because she also liked Tedros. She pushes these thoughts out of her head and decides to help her friend. They succeed in convincing Tedros that Sophie is a good person. Tedros goes everywhere with her and promises to take her to the school for good party. He also talks to her about one point. He tells her their relationship might not work because he is from the school for good and she is from the school for evil. We notice a lot of hatred from both schools. The school for good is angry at her because she took Tedros away from all the princesses there. The school for evil is angry because one of their girls is dating a prince from the school for good. Everyone is very angry about their relationship. Tedros tells her because of this relationship the balance between the schools might break. Tedros had promised one of those princesses to take her to the party. As soon as she learns that Sophie is going instead she goes to fight with Tedros. Hester comes to defend Sophie and a huge fight breaks out between the two schools. Dovey and Lesso stop the fight and transfer Tedros and Sophie to the master office. The master decides to put them on trial called the story trial. This is to prove their love is real. Tedros tells him that Sophie truly came to the wrong place and her real place is the school for good. We learn this trial means they will enter the forest each in their own direction. They must overcome the obstacles they face and meet each other before dawn. If this happens their love is real and Sophie will transfer to the school for good. Both of them agree after being warned about the trial and its difficulty. They are told that people die inside the forest and never return. Their love for each other makes them insist on entering the trial. As soon as Sophie enters she faces savage flowers that want to eat her. She calls for Tedros to save her but he cannot hear her at all. She tries by herself and manages to pass the flowers. She reaches the pumpkin field where the Soul Reaper attacks her to kill her. Agatha tries to enter the forest to save Sophie. She uses her magical power and turns into a bird. She enters the forest and saves Sophie. She tells her to run fast and meet Tedros on the other side. Sophie reaches Tedros and proves that she is good. But the good times do not last. The Soul Reaper returns again. Sophie hides and Tedros fights him. Because the Reaper is much stronger than Tedros he lands a hit that sends his sword flying far away. Tedros fights with only his bare hands. Sophie holds his sword and can give it to him but she is scared and hesitant. Agatha sees her and tells her to help Tedros. Sophie refuses to help. Agatha is forced to go and save Tedros before he dies. She gives him the sword and he kills the Soul Reaper. Tedros is surprised by Agatha's presence and understands she came to help Sophie. He tells Sophie she is a liar and evil because she refused to help him. Her real place is the school for evil. They should have succeeded in the trial and reached the final stage. But Tedros gives up as if he never reached the end after discovering Sophie's true nature. Sophie tells Agatha that she is the cause of everything and is trying to hurt her by any means. She says she went to the school she always wanted and now she wants to take her true love. Sophie walks away angry and jealous. Raffle appears in the forest and he was the one who made the Soul Reaper attack Tedros. Agatha sees him and is very surprised. She quickly returns to the school for good and tells Dovey what happened. Dovey initially thought Agatha entered the forest herself to ruin Sophie's trial and wrongfully accused her. Agatha explains everything to Dovey, who is shocked by what Sophie did. She confirms that Sophie deserves to be in the school for evil. She is even more shocked when she hears that Agatha saw Raffle in the forest. She takes her to the master and tells him. The master tells them that Sophie is missing. He asks Agatha to inform them if Raffle appears again that Sophie is missing. Sophie locks herself in her room. A letter from Agatha arrives apologizing for what happened in the forest. Sophie is very moved by her words and blames herself for everything. Raffle appears to her again and convinces her that Agatha is her enemy. He says he will help her defeat her. He gives her the power of blood magic to make her the strongest one in the school for evil. From here, Sophie makes her appearance ugly to please Raffle the next time. She meets Lesso and tells her that Raffle gave her blood magic power. He loves her, which is why he chose her to be his true love. On the secondary ceremony day for the school for good students, Sophie goes to the party to show Agatha that she is now her enemy. Sophie looks like an old and very ugly woman at this time. After she leaves the school for good, Tedros discovers she turned all the teachers into children toys. He decides to kill her and goes with all the students to the school for evil. Agatha races ahead of them and tries to change Sophie's decision. Tedros arrives at the school for evil and attacks Sophie. This is actually Sophie's plan to lure them to the school for evil and make them abandon their good nature and attack her first. The school for good turns into the school for evil and the school for evil turns into the school for good. Sophie returns to her normal appearance and the place completely changes. They start attacking each other. Sophie attacks Agatha and throws her out of the place with the power of blood. She goes to the master office to take revenge on him. She discovers there that the master is Raffle disguised as Ryan. He did this to destroy the school for good. He tells her he succeeded in this for the past 200 years until he made all the good ones evil. He tells her she helped him do this by turning the school for good into the school for evil. Thus she proved she is his true love. As soon as Raffle kisses Sophie, both schools collapse on top of each other. The magical book says the two schools will never exist again. Raffle will take all the magical power for himself and Sophie will kill her friend Agatha. The story ends there and all this is written in the future book. Sophie gets very upset and tells him she will never kill her friend. When Agatha reaches the master office, Sophie runs to her and hugs her. Agatha tells her she will save her from Raffle. Raffle tells Agatha that if she moves from her spot he will kill her. He throws the magical pen at them. Sophie decides to protect her friend and stands in front of her. The pen hits Sophie instead. Raffle thus loses his true love. Both schools return to their original nature. Tedros arrives at the master office and attacks Raffle to kill him. Raffle manages to defeat Tedros easily and attacks him again with no effort. Before Raffle can kill him, Sophie and Agatha join forces. The two of them manage to defeat Raffle with his own sword. All the evil in the world ends. Agatha bleeds for Sophie because she is dying. She says goodbye to Sophie while crying because she lost her friend forever. Because of Agatha magical tears, Sophie's wound heals and Sophie returns to life again. Agatha becomes very happy and the condition of both schools changes. They become one single school together. Because of what Agatha and Sophie did, a time portal opens for them to return home. Sophie tells Agatha she can stay with her love Tedros while she returns to take care of her mother. Agatha thanks her and goes to Tedros. She tells him she loves him but she cannot abandon her friend. Sophie and Agatha return to their normal lives. Their families fly with joy when they return. Their lives change for the better because of the magical powers they now have. They can overcome any bullying they face. But their story does not end here, dear friend, because Tedros sends an arrow through a time portal to Agatha village. This means he is asking for their help. This means the story is not over. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Leave a comment with your favorite movie for us to recap next. See you in the next one.